What's up, guys? What's up, YouTube? What's up, the world? Welcome to this new tutorial. So today there's not gonna be any face cam showing. I'm trying to be a little fast. I did a previous recording of about 2 hours, and a few settings went wrong, and so some parts of the videos are not exactly are not exactly good for posting on YouTube. So I have to make a new one. So I have to do it a little bit rushed because I'm running out of time. But this tutorial is going to be about kitchen cabinets, okay? And the reason this is drawing my attention is because there's an interesting conversation going on with Jeremy Tarot, my good friend Jeremy Tarot, right here. On if you go to the FreeCAD architecture, he posted this, and so he's very interested in seeing how because he came and asked me since I had done a previous tutorial. No, since I had previously modeled a kitchen cabinet before, so he was a bit curious about my model and how I did that. So what I'm going to show is that I'm not going to show him how I did this because this is a bit primitive. This is how I was modeling when I was trying to figure things out. So this is not very efficient. This is also very static and very monotone, non-parametric if you want. So I'm going to rather show him the new way that I think about modeling. And so within my test, um, I have made a few examples to show you. So we're gonna look at this one first. So this one is um, how I modeled. It's an example of how I modeled the previous one, where you have the base structure. This is basically um, a structure with a sketch underneath that. So if you look, there's a rectangle which is serving as the base, and this rectangle I always have the ability to control the height and length of the rectangle. If you select that, you see it's 0.5 millimeters by 3 millimeters wide. So and then basically I did the same thing for this guy. Go to selection. Basically it's a rectangle as well that you see here. I just moved its placement position to um, to 0.1 meter above the initial one, and so I created a panel which is about this height, and then I created a thickness inside which gives me the hole. You see, let me hide this and bring that. So this is my panel, and then this is the thickness. So so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably try to see if I can put some video to how I model this part for anybody who's interested. So the second thing I wanted to show you that I was playing with, this is the kind of result that we're gonna be trying to aim for, right? And I'll talk about it here in a bit. Meanwhile, this is one way that it's a very interesting because this follows the same mentality of, okay, using one sketch, what can you do, right? Because here, for example, if I were to change the height of my line, let's say the length of my line, you see that my kitchen cabinet update as well as my wall as well as everything. So this one was pretty well modeled. Um, so this is the doors. I didn't get into too much details, and you will see that each one has a panel. This is a trick that I'm going to show you. You know, each one has a panel, so I'm going to show you how this you can make something like this. And then the amazing thing is that again I brought this project that I was doing, and you can see how quickly you can begin to generate even Cabinetry, so one line can control all of this, and see how the complexity and the details are starting to reveal themselves, and it's a very good thing, right? And so look in here as well, it just created some kind of cabinets there. So it's amazing what you can do with this tool. It's very powerful in a way. So now let me stop all the talking and probably close all of this. Save that, close that, close without saving, save this, and close that and save that. Okay, so let me start a new document. Okay, so here's my new document. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a line on the top view. I am going to create a line that is, I want my cabinet to be 1 meters tall, but maybe I'm going to first create a wall, right? So maybe this is going to be my wall. Create a wall like this, select that face and go to the right of that wall. Okay, so now I can walk on this side. So same deal, go to the top view, and so I'm gonna go to wireframe, and I'm gonna create another line. These are gonna be the lines that are gonna govern my cabinet, because I don't want to use a wall line, or let's say um, so I'm gonna select this line and call it cabinet line. Rename cabinet line. Okay, so I'm going to move that right here. And so the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a section plane. So go to flat line or shade it as is, select this face, and then insert a section cut like so. What I'm going to do is increase. I'm going to increase the size. So that it matches a little bit like this, a little bit wide like this, and the wide like this. Okay. And so I'm going to move him slightly into the center. Make sure my plane is back there. So move him onto the X. Let's say 1.2. Okay, this looks good. And maybe my arrows as well. Okay, this looks good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a folder as well, create group, and rename cab Okay, so everything that I make now is gonna come inside, not the wall. So now I'm gonna select this line and I'm gonna create a wall. First wall of the day. So now I'm gonna tell this wall to come inside the cab. And I am going to add this wall inside my section like this. And I'm going to add the cab inside my section as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the section. I'm going to tell it to be true. And then I'm going to hide this section. I don't want to be seeing him when I model, but I want him to generate the shape 2D view, and inside the property of the shape 2D view, the data, I'm going to come and tell it to be projection cut faces, update the model, and I want the cut faces line to be a bit thick. So like this. And also I want the shape color to be something distinguishable, that it's, it's a cut. Let's go with this color. It's a bit unusual. Okay, so now we have that. So now I'm gonna tell my wall, I want them to be right, no, actually left, justified, like this. Okay, starting to look good. So I maybe want to create a few more of this wall. So let's say, based on my modeling experience, I can already guesstimate that I need a few of these guys already. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to select the cabinet line again, create a wall, select the cabinet line, create another wall, select the cabinet wall, create another wall, select the cabinet wall. Maybe I want 2 or 3 more. Okay, and all of them as well. I am going to justify them, or maybe left. Okay, so I have a lot of walls now. Put that into the cabinet here so that it will appear in the section. So now I am going to bring their height down. So I'm going to go to 0.1 like this. And then I'm going to extend I'm going to extend their width to 0.58 meters like this. Okay, so that'll be the first guy that I'm going to rename base cab footer. Okay, so now the rest I'm going to move them on the placement by a position of 0.1. Like this. And I'm gonna give him a 0.61 width like this, and I'm gonna give him a height of 0.8 height 0.8. like this. And this one will be my base cab. Now I'm going to select the remaining guys and I'm going to move them by 0.9 up. Placement 0.9 position. So I'm going to go to 0.9. Like this. And I'm going to change its height 0.5. And I am going to change the width. So come here and say 0.65. And I'm going to call that base cab countertop. So now I have these other guys. I can keep my journey. I'm going to move them up by 1.6 position. 1.6 like this, and change the width. I'm going to come to 0. I'm going to go to 0. What do you call that? 28. Like this. And I'm going to rename this upper cab foot. Okay, and then select these other guys and then move them by placement. Go to position and move that by 0.65. Like this, and then change the height. The height to maybe 0.6 m. Like this, and then rename that upper cab, and then select this last one, rename upper cab top, rename bottom. Okay, so the upper cap top has to go where it belongs, so placement and position. So let's see, so this is 1.65, 1.65, so we are at 2. 2. Let's see. 2.1. No, it's 2.25. Okay. And the height would be what will be my height? My height would be 0.5, like this. So we're almost done to have something interesting. So now let's create a door very quickly. So we have this last thing remaining here. So we can come to its offset and tell it to move by 0.28. And tell it to have a width of 0.2. Okay, that's my door. I forgot to do the same thing on this other side as well. Rename upper cab door. I can copy this. Well, I'll select this, copy, yes, paste, come here and change the baseline to cabinet line and delete this other line, and then bring him into the folder and select him, come to its offset value, and you want to offset that by 0.61. Where are you? 0.61 m, like this, and give it a thickness of 0.2 meters, like this. So there you go, we have a door. So I'm doing everything in section because it's critical that it appears like how you would need them to generate blueprints with if you would need them. So so the next thing is, let me hide the doors for a moment, because what I want to do here is, and let me bring back the cut view false. So at this stage, what I want to do, let me hide this. At this stage, what I want to do is, I want to go to the architecture part and select this utility to apply thickness. So I want to select this face and this face and do that. Let's see what happened. Okay, so apparently you can only select one face at a time. So I select this face and do that. I'm not sure why it's jumping like it did. View fit selection. Well, problem is I don't have my selection. Okay, let's see. Okay, so as you can see, I have this ability to create a shell. So what I will do, I'm gonna give it a thickness of 20 millimeters, but you can see it has this rounded edge because I think that the joint top is an arc. So if I want to tangent node to intersection, now it's see it updated, but now I want it to offset in from the inside, so I'm going to put a negative value here, and it opens from the inside like this. So that's how you create that. And so the same thing applies here. So where I'm going to select that, and let me validate this selection first. Okay, so Now let me select the second one and create the thickness in the same way. So here I'm going to go to 20 as well, and then change the arc to intersection and put a negative value. So there you have the cabinet. Okay, validate that. So now let's bring back our section and let's bring back our view through and now 2D shape view. So you see that the 2D shape view is still the way it was, and so what we can do about that is that, because right now it's still relying on this upper cabinet base, upper cab, upper cab. So right now it's hidden. So let me show you what happens. If I were to update the section plane, okay, so this is what I have. This is my new picture. Because my upper cap is not shown, but now this time around I'm going to introduce my my thickness, my shell tool, and so let me update my section and bring my doors back. Upper door, I think this is base cap doors. We'll rename that. Okay, like this. Everything's looking good. All right. All right. Let's update the okay. So we are starting to be somewhere. We're starting to go places now. So the next part is very interesting. So I inserted this thickness is to show you how it will create the shell. So generally for architecture purposes, when you're just trying to show in architecture construction drawing cabinets, if you're just showing cabinets in a generic way, this is how far into the details you might need to go. But if you're doing cabinet details, like say how you would specify what the shop manufacturer will, how he would have to design it, so you have to go into much more detail where you specify the panels, for example, and how they're going to be read on in 2D working drawing, to the shop drawings. So that means you have to get into further details. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back my cabs out of the folder by dragging it out like this, and you'll see I'm going to update update that. Okay, so but what I'm going to do instead is let me hide this and let me hide this and bring back the section true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a reference guide. I'm going to give it a transparency value of let's say 80, and I'm going to it's already transparent. Also hide this one up here. So now I'm going to let's see. Okay, I'm going to change the line width to 1, and I'm gonna change the line color to red as well, or something that can be thought of as a guide. It could be blue, it doesn't matter. Or I can also change the line, uh, the draw dash dot like this. Okay, so now this is a crucial part, right? So I'm going to go back to the arc, and what I'm going to do now is let me hide this wall for now. So I select this face and put my face binder. That's the thing. Select this face, face binder. No, wrong order. Okay. So what I do is I come from the inside of that face. Let's see. Well, I select this face, face binder, select this face, face binder, select this face, face binder, select that, face binder, and then select this face at the bottom, and face binder, select this face, face binder, select that, face binder, and select that, face binder. So the face binder will retain the main shape, but what it will allow us to do is now it provides us the ability to create panels. So what I can now do is create a panel like this, select all of them and create panels, specify the thickness for all of these panels. So I want to specify the thickness. Like this. And so now I want to start changing the normal of some of these panels, where this one is in the X, so I'm going to bring him in this direction. Select that and bring him into the negative 1. This would go into this is going to be 1. Negative, this is negative 1, negative 1. This is negative 1 as well in the Z direction. This would be 1, and this will simply be 1. And this would be 1. Okay. Alright, so that's our panels. So now I can create I can just drag all these panels now, and put them in the cab. Except that I don't have a smooth way of creating the rear panel. I'm thinking of a potential cheat, because just like we had the door, we can cheat in the same way for the rear cabinetry. Of course, my friend, there is always a possibility. So this is what the door would look like. So let me just analyze the section. False, true. Okay, so bring back my 2D shape view. And my wall. Okay, so let's update position. Okay, so I have an idea. Let me delete all of this. And hide this wall. And hide this, and hide that, and hide this, and bring back. So the idea is this. I'm going to start from the back, so the back will do this. So put your 2D shape view on the back, like this. Now, still not gonna work. Interesting. I need to take a moment to think about this. Okay, maybe I got it now. So let me hide this first and hide this first. So what I will do is I'll start from the base. So I select the base, delete this face binder, delete this once. So I start from the base. the order that you use is crucial here. Face. Alright. So now, as far as the interior, so I'll select that face binder now. No. Or maybe. Okay, well, we need to move on. So select that face binder, and face binder. Select this face binder, no, wrong order. I have to hide this. Select this face binder, hide this. Select this face binder, and then face binder. Okay, let's see how we can work with this. Select all the face binder, generate panels out of everyone. Tell those panels I want those panels to be 20 mil thick, like this. Okay, so the next thing is adjust the normal. So this will be a normal of -1, actually -1 in the Z, like this. This will actually be in 1. This will be -1. This will be 1. This will be -1. This will be -1. This will be 1. -1 as well. -1 here. Actually 1. And the rear panel, both of them will be 1 in the y direction. Okay. So this is the little strange effect that you will get from trying to model this way. Okay, so let's bring everything into the cab. Okay. Okay, so let's bring back everyone else except the upper cab. And the lower cab, base cab. No, the base cab. Okay, so let's bring back our section. New, true. May file save as kitchen tutorial. All right. Bring out to the shape view and bring our wall back as well. So let's update our section. Well, at least in the 2D everything looks right. Now for the doors, simple little trick that I was thinking, you'd select that. You'd select these two faces, go to the part, and do that. Apply a thickness to it. And inside that thickness, you can go to 0.1 m. And as you can see, it gives you these rounded things. So you get intersection, and then you go to -1. No, -1, like this. Okay. Rename. Upper cab door. Upper cab door. And obviously we're gonna put you in the folder, but we're now going to hide this other one. Okay. Next thing, we do the same thing with this guy. We select these two faces like this, and then we create the same kind of hole, which is 0.1 m into the negative, and then this is intersection, and OK, and we'll rename that base cab door, and put them into the folder and hide the base cab door as well. Base cab door. Okay, so now let's update our drawing. And so for this little thing, I'm going to select this countertop, copy, yes, read it, paste, select him, go to the data, placement at 9.5, like this, and I will give him a width of 0.1 and probably a height of 100, and I will simply add the thing into here. Okay, so let's update the section. Mm-hmm. So everything seems to be working well. So one last thing is we can add a shelf inside. So one way to do that will simply be to use this kind of method. Basically where if I copy this, let me specify first of all that the base cabinet here is the cabinet line, and so here I can delete the cabinet line. Everybody will be able to update nicely, and everything that I turned off, like the base cabinet door, upper cap, not you but these guys, I'm gonna bring them outside of that folder, and so now I can hide them, so I don't want them to show. Which one are you? Go to selection. Okay, upper cab. I need the base cab as well. Upper cab, base cab. Base cab footer stays, you stay, you stay, you stay. Okay. Let's see if everything it's in good order. Let me update the section. All right. Now let me hide this. And false. So if I were to, let's say, change the line, the length to 2, it does update nicely. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a clone of all of these objects. Okay, maybe I'm gonna put all those clones into a compound. So I'm gonna put part, compound, make compound. All right, so that means that if, let me move all these clones, select that. Architecture. So So I can now clone another compound like this. Okay. And FreeCAD just crashed. Interesting. I was telling him to do too many things. Start recovery, man. Please tell me you saved it at a decent place. Okay. So I had already cloned that architecture. Move my plane on here. Something strange. Select that clone. Move that clone over there. And select this other clone. And move this clone over here. Okay. So now let's have a final word. Let's see how this behaves. Let me stretch this wall as well. Doesn't look right. Okay. Now let's take our base cabinet line. And let's say maybe we want something that is 0.6 meters in length. Okay, 0. It looks like there's so much information to update that base cabinet line. Okay, let me try something else. Go to the top view, and if you had a line that was 0.6, something is strange. I'm not able to control my length anymore. Error wiring edges. What is going on? Look into the log file further. This is strange. I think I'm gonna stop from here, but because I'm not very sure what's going on with the line and where the error is located. So this is probably a good place to save this, but normally at this point the line should be able to control all of this and update that as needed, and then the rest is just tweaking it. And then if you need multiple varieties, you can create different varieties with different line lengths and stuff like that. So alright, so I think that's it for now, and I think I'll see you on to the next tutorial.